Welcome to you. My name's Dale and this is Dale's Addiction. I just realised that every time I sit down to film a video, I happen to be wearing this dress lately. And a few of you have asked me about it. So this is the Faye Dress by Kivari, the label. I will link their website down below. I'm going to keep playing with my hair because it is pouring rain and the humidity is not being kind with me today. Anyway, I am either filming an epic Q&A right now or I am filming part 1 of the Q&A right now. I put out an Instagram story last week asking for questions and you guys delivered in spades. Also on my YouTube community page as well, and you'll only see that if you're subscribed. So if you haven't seen that and you are interested in participating in these Q&As, then subscribe. Why not? It's free. So I've literally got heaps and heaps of questions. We will see if there are any repetitions. I will just go over those, but let's get into it. So Renee and Tony says, what do you do for work? I work in leadership development primarily, and I help people be their best selves, whether that's individuals, teams, leadership cohorts, or organisations. So in a nutshell, I offer lots of services within that very broad parameter, and it's a really great way to earn a living because it's so fulfilling. Resting Foodie Face says, how did you start your YouTube channel? Well, I started about 2 years ago, when we all went into the big black hole that has been the last couple of years. And I had been talking to people about it for a little while because every time someone would ask me about a bag, I'd flick them a YouTube video and they would say, why don't you do this? And I'd say, no. And then I got to thinking about it and the seed started to, grow. And before I knew it, I think the hardest thing was setting up the channel, so the platform, and learning how to edit. But yeah, I started with a Fendi unboxing, and it's interesting that I've been kind of come to known as the Fendi Queen because I love Fendi, and I've talked about Fendi from the very beginning. And I think if you're thinking about starting a channel, the best way to start is with an unboxing of a bag that you really love, because you don't have to do any research for those videos. You've already done it and you're literally sharing it with other people. So yeah, that's how I did it. Claire McGann, when you need to feel $1 million, what's your go-to confidence booster? And then she's got emojis. Lipstick, shoes, a bag, or a dress? When I need to feel $1 million, I'm going to say a dress. Probably another thing that you would know about me if you follow me on Instagram is that I'm a big fan of a dress. And yeah, a dress kind of, not just any dress style. I wear dresses in the winter, summer, spring, autumn. I live in a temperate climate, but even in winter, I think you can still do dresses really well. And a dress, will really make me feel $1 million. So that's a great question, Claire. Cara Big, best approaches for buying designer bags when you can't see them physically in store. Watch YouTube. Definitely watch YouTube. What else? Check the returns policy. I find that if my only worry is that I won't be able to change my mind, I'm not going to buy. But yeah, if the returns policy is good, why wouldn't you? If you've done your research, you can afford it, you think that you'll love it, but you just want that option, like a cooling off period, check the returns policy. And especially if they do free returns where they organise the courier to come to you, that's how I would do it. If your provider doesn't offer a returns policy, personally, I wouldn't take the plunge. I'd wait until you can see it. The Closet by Connor. Hello, Connor. What advice would you give to someone who's unsure on how to dress for their body type? Stop trying to dress like other people's body types. I think it takes it took me a little while to figure out that what other people were wearing wasn't necessarily going to look good on me, and that wasn't a bad thing, because there are things that look good on me that don't look good on other body types. And I think the more that you get to know yourself and how to, and the fact that everybody is different, then you start to figure out some shapes and things that really work for you and stick with those shapes. It's when you try and force something that, you know, for me, like oversized t-shirts is a thing. Like oversized t-shirts, they just look terrible on me, but I love them when they're styled on skinny people, right? But I'm not a skinny person, so I'm not going to get that look. I'm just going to look like I'm wearing a sack. So yeah, that's my advice. Thanks for your question, Connor. Claire McGann has another question. The best hangover cure? Well, the first one I'd say is a champagne breakfast. Hair of the dog. Now this is revolting, but if I'm ever in that place where I need a little pick-me-up, something salty really works. So in Australia, and I think in other places, there's this like fast food that you would get at a fish and chip shop called a Chico roll. It's very savoury and salty. It's got a crisp batter on the outside and some kind of cabbagey vegetable filling. A Chico roll and a Powerade, which is like a sports drink, like an energy drink in raspberry flavour. That's my go-to combo. And after that, I feel much better. Rel Cords, or Narelle, can I please have that Gucci wicker bag? Narelle's talking about this one. No, you can't. She's not for sale. This is another one of those bags that wasn't particularly popular, and then, you know, it became popular, and she's a beauty, and I highly recommend to any of you who want a great looking wicker bag that goes from day to night. This is the Gucci Marmont glazed wicker linear Castino bag, I think is the full name. If you're looking for it, it also comes in like the dark green and red version, which I'm not a big fan of. I really love this one, but yeah. Sorry, Narelle. A Corrie's girl, Lisa. Hello. What makes you happier? A new handbag or a trip somewhere? Without a doubt, a trip somewhere. They are more rare than handbags to me, especially over the past 2 years. As you can all probably imagine, most of us have been in that space, and now that I'm starting to hear from people who have been and travelled, and I'm just like a leech. I want to know everything. How was it? What's it like? You know, is it still the same in terms of the vibe of the place? Yeah, I'd really love to go. We've got a lot on this year, so I don't know if we'll be doing many trips, but definitely within Australia, we'll be doing some short trips. All right, this one is from Meredith Yates. Thank you, Meredith. She says, your house burns down and you get the insurance money. Which 2 bags are you hunting to replace with exact replicas? And which 2 are you not bothering to replace, but rather use to buy a new season? Oh, that's a really hard question. Exact replicas. I mean, after I've just talked about this is a bag that I haven't seen anything very similar to at all. So I'd probably want this one. And it's not the most expensive. I paid $1,500 for this bag. Exact replicas. Probably one of those ones over there. Probably my Petite Boy Chapeau. Look at it, just shoved in the cupboard. For sentimental reasons, because my husband bought that one for me. Which 2 am I not bothering to replace? Oh, okay. Now I'm coming clean. The Speedy in the denim. I love it, but I find it really hard to use. I just don't think it's for me. So that one might go. And also, while we're looking at it, I suppose the cans bag. I love the cans bag, but again, I rarely gravitate towards it, and that's because I have the Petite Boy Chapeau there. So if I want a circular kind of bag, I tend to pick that one. God, Meredith, that was a hard question. Meredith has a second question. Only one luxury brand forever, but with an unlimited budget. Which one do you choose? Fendi. Is there any other answer to that question, Meredith? I choose Fendi because I think Fendi speaks to me in a way that other brands don't. I love Louis Vuitton, would be a close second for me. But I think Fendi is just, I don't know, it's just fun. I love the fact that it's, it was primarily run and owned by women. I love the fact that they have classic styles in the peekaboo and the baguette, but they're reinvented. I love the fact that Fendi is not pretentious. Fendi's unapologetic. Fendi's fun and bold. Yeah, Fendi. Beloved Chanel, are you feeling bored of buying designer bags? Because I do. And I just want to know if it's just me. I'm not bored, but I have found that it's easier to edit for me. Like, I don't get excited about bags. I don't do videos on new bag trends because I don't find it interesting. And if you're somebody that does videos on those, I don't watch them. If I want to see what's in the shops, and this is just me coming from a place of privilege where I can go to the boutiques and have a look, I want to discover that for myself. I don't want to go on someone else's video and have a look. I think half of the fun of purchasing these designer bags at luxury price points is your own discovery of them. So I wouldn't say I'm bored, but I'm a lot more restrained with buying. And that it kind of dovetails into another experience I had recently at the Chanel launch. And actually, I need to text my essay. One moment. I think I'm bored with some brands. Absolutely. I'm definitely bored with some brands, and I'm bored with talking about these brands over and over again. It feels like deja vu to me every time I see a Chanel unboxing. Sorry. Next bag on your wish list besides Fendi, please. This one's by Trang. Trang, there are no bags on my wish list that aren't Fendi at the moment. So, I don't have an answer for that one. There's nothing I want that's not Fendi at the moment. So, isn't that interesting? Polka Dot and Pearls, hi Mon. Would you choose a Jimmy Choo bag or a Bulgari bag? I'd choose a Bulgari bag anytime. I don't love the structure of the Bulgari Serpenti bags because I'm not really a structured bag person. I do love the cabochon. I think that's how you say it. It's a more puffy version. But to be honest, I don't see Bulgari as a bag maker. It's like buying a Cartier bag for me. I see them as a jeweler first. And yes, I appreciate their bags, but I appreciate their jewellery more. So I probably don't know if I'd buy any of them. I've had a Jimmy Choo clutch before, but I never wore it and I sold it. I.Caddy, what did you want to be when you grew up? I always wanted to be a divorce lawyer. And this sounds kind of morbid, but when I was growing up, my family was unusual in that my mum and dad were still together and we had this little nuclear family. That's not the case anymore, but certainly the entrepreneur in me saw an opportunity in being a family lawyer specialising in divorce. And that's what I wanted to be for a long time until I did legal studies at school, and I thought that a lot of law was really boring and a lot of hard work and not a lot of payback. And what I mean by that is by the time you do your articles and sit the bar and what have you, you're still earning pretty ordinary money until maybe you get to partner. And then you still have to work really hard. It's just different work. I didn't see the payback on that. So maybe my inner lazy self was just like, yeah, nah, that's for someone else. Okay, Lapita says, when and where is your next big trip? Look, there's a couple of options really. When I think big trip, I think overseas, because getting there is half the fun, and it's usually a good 24 hours on a plane or a couple of planes for us here. So there's two places. Love to go back to America. I had a trip planned for 2020, which included New York, but also Yellowstone and San Francisco and the Redwoods and Monterey. And anyway, so that was one trip, and I like the idea of having the city trip first and then the driving trip at the end. Maybe Hawaii as well. Why not? Or a driving trip around the UK. And when I travel with my husband, he likes to be in control of things. So yeah, we like catching trains because they're really easy. If we don't have to get on another plane once we land at our destination, then we won't, because they just waste a lot of time. Plane travel does, whereas trains are much more efficient. And if we can, we like to drive. So yeah, the UK or the US. I don't know when. Flock KT, do you plan to meet any fellow YouTubers in person? Yeah, well, I don't have plans, but I'm always open to meeting fellow YouTubers, absolutely. So far in terms of YouTubers, I've met and become very good friends with Ada Sully from Ada Sully Styling, and she's also in Brisbane, as well as Connor from The Closet by Connor. I speak a lot to other YouTubers, including Amelia Rose, Yoda Style, Autumn Beckman, Winnie B LV. Like, I speak to a lot of people. Gwenny from Styled by Gwenny. I speak to a lot of people, but in terms of meeting, that's challenging, right? Because we're all over the world. But yeah, when I'm traveling within Australia, I'd certainly, if I have the time, love to catch up with some other Aussie YouTubers as well. Okay, Jessica Lim _Mrs. Newen says, if you can only have one, which one? A Fendi peekaboo or a baguette? A peekaboo, a mini peekaboo, because I think they're much more versatile than the baguette is. But just because it's not practical not as practical, doesn't mean I love it any less. But if I could only choose one, I'd go with the mini peekaboo. Hey, I'm not sure if this is an initial or what. Let's just say GS Lejko, Lejko. How do you feel about Valentino's Roman and one stud designs? I'm obsessed. I love them. So if you don't know what they are, I'll pop a picture up here of the Roman and the one stud designs. I do love them. I have a couple of Valentino pieces in the little studs. So I have a couple in the little stud. So this is the mini rock stud, and this one's like a little bit bigger. So I really like these. I've also got these on shoes as well. I've got Valentino boots and kitten heels and the untitled sneakers, which I'm not going to show you all those right now. The one studs are a much more bold look, I think. I think they're cool. Nicole S. Jung, I'm going to take a guess. Which bags are so good that you could have more than one? It's the peekaboo for me. I have to agree with you, Nicole, because the peekaboo is the only bag that I have more than one of. So here's my black peekaboo. If you've been around my channel a little while, you know I have this and the white, and they're pretty much exactly the same. So they're both in this Cellaria pebbled leather with the exposed stitching, which I prefer in my Fendi mini peekaboos because they have feet, and they also are hand finished, and each hand finished bag has a little plaque inside with a number. This one's got a tan contrast interior. I just think these, with the straps and the shape of them, they can fit so much in them. They look great crossbody, on the shoulder, handheld. They really are one of the most versatile bags ever. And you know, if I ever do come across that beautiful lilac colour, I might just have to buy that again. I mean, not again, but I might just have to buy it because I passed on it the first time, but that's because I bought that sequin baguette instead. Okay, Martina says, money's no issue. How many Fendi bags would you buy right now? Like, this is a great timing for this question. Honestly, there is so much from the spring summer drop that I would buy. You know, I've talked to you in vlogs about that beautiful baby blue mink Fendi First, and then there's these little mini Fendi Firsts in mink, that beautiful raspberry swirl baguette that Yoda Style just bought, and that also comes in the mini size baguette. There's all the sequin options, the sequin Fendi Firsts. There's the Fendigraphy bag that I'd love to see in person and try. There's all the Fendace bags that are coming. I mean, do I need to say any more? Like, it's just lots and lots and lots. That's without even mentioning my made to order, which my appointment is coming up very soon. Nick Snell, what's an item you thought you would love that disappointed you, and vice versa? The pochette Matisse. I saw that all over Europe, everywhere. It's like one of those things you don't notice, and then you notice it and you can't stop thinking about it. I thought it would really work for me in my undone style, but I just didn't like it. I didn't like how masculine that it looked. I didn't like how big it was crossbody, which is weird because it's not a big bag, but it just felt, I don't know, the combination of the style and the size. I don't like putting twillies and things on my bag, so when I first bought it, I did put like a little twilly on the handle and it looked more feminine, but I'm just like, oh, it looks a bit fussy. So yeah, it was disappointing for me for a bunch of reasons. A bag that I bought that was like meh, that I really, really have loved. Oh, that's a tough one. I'd probably have to say back to my Gucci wicker bag, because that bag was just, I saw it on Mel. I didn't search for it. I searched on the Gucci website. I never found it. And Mel in Melbourne I'm talking about. And then it popped up on the Persefair and I went bam. And I have to say that part of that quick decision was because of how cheap it was. It was $1,500. And I thought, well, if I hate it, I'll just sell it. And I have loved that bag and I've worn it so much. So, yeah, good question, Nick. Nick's got another question. If you were a real housewife, what would your tagline be? Well, I'm going to steal it from my husband. You're better looking at it than looking for it. And you can apply that to anything, and you're always happy at the end of the day. Kendo's Girl asks, love your channel for keeping things real. Would you ever add a Mulberry England bag to your collection? Thanks for your question, and thanks for saying that. No, I just don't think that there are styles that really appeal to me or are unique compared to bags that I already have. So, yeah, no, but thanks for asking. Okay, Life by Suki. Ooh, looking gorgeous. Thank you. Can you recommend a crossbody summer bag, please? Yeah, well, I have a few. I love the Gucci small bamboo handle bag. That has been so fun to wear this summer. I have also really enjoyed this summer where is it? I've also really enjoyed my Louis Vuitton Favourite. This is just a great bag for summer because it's really, really carefree. I'm actually doing a video on this topic soon, but the Fendi mini baguettes are perfect for crossbody wear because they have a longer strap that has a chain on them as well. So they work really beautifully crossbody compared to the regular size baguettes. the Chanel seasonal bags that have longer chains. This is my Emily in Paris one. Again, I just love having a tan bag. So I wouldn't say this is beige. It's called dark beige, but it looks much more tan to me. A tan bag that's crossbody and a bit of fun. Great for summer. And I don't think you can go past, for a versatile bag, the Prada Re-Edition 2005. Mine's in the Saffiano leather. I love this colour. It's called Water Lily. It's a pink nude rather than the Cameo, which is a brown nude. And this bag has detachable chain, detachable canvas strap, detachable pochette, so you can do a lot of things with it and wear it super casually or take it out for dinner, wear it over your shoulder or as a little handheld bag. It's a great bag. Your next holiday destination is a question by CC. Next holiday destination. I don't actually have any holidays planned at the moment. I've got trips planned, but for me a holiday is going somewhere and not really having an agenda, just going on an adventure and sightseeing. I've got a few trips, but no holidays planned. So, yes, watch this space. LV Lover 33. Hey babe, what's your dream bag and do you already own it? Well, I think my dream bag changes as bags come out. And I guess if there are a couple of bags that in my collection that would be dream bags, and here I was thinking I'm sitting down to do an easy Q&A video. So the first dream bag has got to be this beautiful little Louis Vuitton Petit Boy Chapeau. It's a dream bag because I would never have bought this bag. It's a very expensive bag. It is not entirely practical. It is absolutely beautiful. I would never have bought it. And the fact that my husband bought it for me and I would never have bought it because I would have put on that, is that really a responsible purchase kind of filter, means that it's a dream come true because it would have only ever been a dream if he hadn't have purchased it for me. So that's dream bag number one. Dream bag number two is a bag I never thought I would buy. And I did a lot of research before I purchased this bag 4 years ago now. And I didn't think I'd buy it because I didn't think that it was me. And I also thought it was such a serious kind of mark, if that makes sense, of in my life of loving clothes and handbags and things. It was a pretty serious milestone to get a Chanel classic flap, one that I really loved because, as I said, I'd purchased a few in different sizes and I didn't really like them, and I really love this and I'm glad that I bought it. I'm glad I bought it when I did. I don't think it's ever going anywhere. It may be probably the most boring bag in my collection, but it can be a pimple on my fabulous bags because, we all need something just kind of you look at and go, I never thought that I would have this bag, and I love it. So, yeah, it's one of my dream bags. The next one won't be a surprise to anyone. This bag, Sex and the City was such an education for me about how women can demonstrate their independence and their power through fashion. And we all know this bag, and the fact that I couldn't go and live my best life for my birthday, which I really wanted to do, go to New York. The fact that this bag was hanging on a mannequin's hand at my local Fendi, and I ignored it. I ignored it for several days. And then, can you believe it? Like, it wasn't sold. And I went in and my SA just handed it to me, and as soon as I put it in my hand, I couldn't get the grin off my face. I just thought, and how am I going to justify spending so much money on this crazy bag? And I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did. I really am. And it's a dream, again, because I never thought that I would have something like this. And it's so symbolic of many things for all of us who love that show and also love Fendi. And the final dream bag is this one. And I think this one, because this is a bag that feels like it was made for me, the way that I dress, the climate that I choose to live in. There's so many things about this bag that I just adore, and I know you guys love a little bit of this ASMR from the chains, so I'm going to make some noise for you. But this bag, like, it's just undone. It's got the drawstring pouch, it's got the wicker, it's branded, it's bigger, like it just makes me feel amazing when I wear it, and I've just done a review on it. But it was $8,600. Like, that's not small change. That's a lot of money. So, yeah, I think all these bags have got a big price tag in common. They are things that I felt were kind of irresponsible at the time, because they're not entirely practical or good value, but they mean something to me. So, yeah, I went on quite a tangent with that question. Well, I think we've answered the question about whether it's going to be one epic Q&A or split into two. I'm going to call it quits here and say thanks very much for watching part one of my Q&A. I think I should do these a bit more often so that there are less questions. So if you're interested in seeing more regular Q&As, let me know in the comments box down below, and I'll schedule one for, say, once a month or something like that. Yeah, so I will see you around for part two. Bye.